Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, January 11th, 2019. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here is a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We continue to hold in a very quiet uptrend here that we've had all week long. Last Friday changed the tide here. This was again the day after Christmas rally. You basically had two major updates here, and then this week has just been day over day quietly higher each day. Now that's typically pretty unusual, but what's coming is likely a big move one way or another. If it's to the downside, price can drop into, say, the 20 zone, somewhere in there. These recent highs right here is 25 rather. So that zone right there is a very good zone that if this thing drops into that area, expect bulls to defend for a try at continuing this thing higher. I believe a failure to hold 25 at this point would open up a wider pullback that could extend to any intensity, whether it's a shorter term move into 2440 or perhaps a push to new lows. We don't know. So again, I think that if the market right now starts to show some weakness here, it could end up dropping into 25, which could then be defended on a swing basis for a continuation higher, or perhaps watch for a failure at 25 for a continuation lower. Alright, here's a look at the NQ. Very similar type of price action here. This one got above the 6,500 key level and is holding above that zone. 6,400 here is kind of this pullback zone, and so far again it's had a quiet lazy uptrend this week after two major updates have lifted the market. That's good because now any pullback gives it some spacing before it hits the prior resistance to turn it to support, or attempt to turn it to support at least. So that's a very important level right there. So again, right now kind of going sideways. We may start to push downward. Wouldn't surprise me if we did get a bigger pullback that sees a move down into the 6390 to 6400 zone at some point over the next day or two. Let's take a look now at crude oil. This one has been very bullish overall. Everything kind of changed here upon its ability to hold above the 49.17s, which happened a few days ago. The next day after that, big push through 550, and that opens up a move up to 55 now. We are seeing a little bit of a tail up here. We're dropping away from the highs of the day, but any pullback could still be a buying opportunity for a continuation to 55, and it could very well be a retest of 49s. So you could see a six-handle move back up to those highs off the 49.17 if it's retested from above. So right now showing its first weakness here in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and any failure to hold the previous session's low or the prior day midpoint will be very important. That's about the 51.30 zone, because that could open up much more weakness. Alright, let's take a look lastly at gold futures. Gold right now continues to chop sideways for the most part. Every time it drops below the 8 period, it continues to be defended. It's in a very strong trend here over the last month plus, and everything still points higher, especially if price continues to hold the 1255 level. We could drop all the way to 1255 and it could still be a great buying opportunity for a shot at seeing a 100-point move into 1360. So defending that zone could open up, if you have some patience here, it could open up a longer term move to the 1360 zone. The last time we made that call was on this day, and we mentioned by the end of the year we should see 1287, and it actually got it on the first trading day of this year. It took a little bit of patience here, but eventually hit the target. This is the same type of thing based off of the wider time frame action here. You'll notice again 1360 is a major pivot high. This lower level right here is 1240. As long as we hold above that level after this 4 or 6 month pattern formation, you likely see a move to 1360 before breaking below this level. So again, everything still points up, but the one thing is that we are at value now for the first time in a while, likely to chop and build around value for a while. So this thing could be stuck in this area, chopping back and forth above and below it for the greater part of the month before we see a continuation. Alright, that is it for now. We'll see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, happy Friday. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the trading room. Take care.